because of conscription and because of the nature of the army, people are just happily still sending their children to occupy wherever needs to be occupied. It's interesting because you can say like, okay, they're defending the status quo because, it doesn't affect them. It only affects Palestinians. But no, it's killing their children. It's
Right.
killing
Right.
Israeli soldiers. Like what if any, does that factor in people's minds, or is it just, yeah, tov lamut ad aretzenu, it's good to die for your country?
That's a direct quote that you translated, so we
Yeah.
don't even have to go that far, right? But I think the deal for a very long time, really up until October 7th, was for many people, for many Israelis, it was, hey, if you're an able-bodied man, go keep us safe by enforcing the occupation and keeping the borders safe for a few years. You do 3 years of this, and then, like you're treated better in society, right? The going to Harvard of Israeli
Yeah.
society is like being a pilot, right? Or like being an elite combat unit, right? That's the number one way for you to move forward in society and to move ahead and to be considered a future leader.
Are there Nepo babies? Do people get into certain units?
100%, of course. Look, there's it's called Poltixia. Yeah, it's like who do you know, right? Who do you know in this unit who can help you get into this unit, right? That will then be your connections and, because you're going to tell people for the rest of life what you did. And if you were a combat soldier in an elite combat unit, people are going to look at you a certain way, right? I think that the extent to which Israeli society, and I really felt this during my gap year, and I was somewhat consumed by it, and even more so in the recent years after I've seen it, the extent to which there's very little questioning of the army, right? Like there's very little tolerance for any sort of real debate around, hey, is this a good idea? Should the army be doing this? Or are these good actions, right? Like if the army goes and does something, it's kind of just assumed that was necessary, right? Like there is just tremendous trust in the army to be the most moral army in the world and to do whatever is necessary to protect Israelis and to, is a strong group that is there to keep Jews safe, right? So you end up in this place of a culture where there's not a movement. Like I have really good friends and I've worked with people in Misalvot, in New Profile, who are, like trying to create in different ways avenues for people to not join the army and to make it a thing. And those videos, I see them get tremendous views outside of the country. But you go and look at those Hebrew comments and capo, traitor, evil, you don't understand that they protect you. You'll never get it. There's just not an appetite in Israeli society for any sort of real criticism of what the army is doing on a moral level. We're not there.